welcome to another episode. I am your host, WIZE, and I'm excited to have my guest on. Let's just get it. Let's just jump right into it. I'll let her tell you what she does. But welcome to the show, Kathleen Donnelly Israel. Let me get there. We go. Hold on. I didn't bring you on yet. There we go. Here we go. Now you go.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here.
Oh no, I'm thank you for being here. I know you're not feeling well, but thank you so much for being on the show. I greatly appreciate it. But let's just jump right into it. So can you share your pivotal moment that led you to the path of healing and transformation? Because I know that's something that's very important to you.
Yeah. Well, I had a really rough childhood. Yeah, my father was a alcoholic, rageaholic child molester, and I had a lot to heal. And over the years, like I never even told anybody about it till I was 35 years old. And just over the years, I've just been going in and out of being able to handle being me. And so when my husband got ill, I had to be home to take care of him. So I ended up online studying from a bunch of very smart people. And like I used to listen to Darius Barazunda, and he would have healers on his show. And then they would be like telling you about their healing. And then they would like offer you to buy their program for like $69 or, something like that. Or maybe some of them gave it away for free. And so I just, I just started studying with all those healers. And I really believed that God was sending me my healers. And so like I would like the first one was Donna Eden. And I bought her program and I studied and studied until it started like being not very interesting for me. And then God would send me another one. And maybe it was Rika Zimmerman and Norm Shealy, all these healers. And I would buy their program and do the work. And then after a while, I needed something more. And I just felt like God was raising my vibration over the years as I studied, as I had to take care of my husband. He was ill from like 2001 to he died in 2018. So I had a lot of time to study. And um, so when he died, I um, I felt like I knew some stuff I had studied so many years, and I felt like I wanted to write a book about it. And but anyway, after he died, I walked the Camino Santiago de Compostela, and when I got home, I thought, well, it's time to write the book. And so I thought, oh, I was reluctant to be teachy, like maybe I wasn't an authority or something. And so I remembered that I told people on the Camino all those things. And so I wrote my book about walking the Camino and telling people my healing stories.
So for people who don't know, what exactly is the Camino? I know it's a walk. What can you explain to the audience what is the Camino?
Yeah, the Camino Santiago de Compostela. Way back in the 1000s or the 1200s or the 900s. Anyway, way back there, the people in the Iberian Peninsula were trying to get the Moors out of Spain. And Saint James, the apostle of Jesus, had actually been buried in Spain because he came to tell people about Jesus. Anyway, he was buried in Spain. And so St. James appeared and helped them get the Moors out of Spain. And then everybody really liked St. James. So they found his grave and they started having pilgrimages to his grave. And that's what it is. And I started in France. They call it the French way. And it's 500 miles across northern Spain. And it's a pilgrimage. It's like, you're not expecting to have a wonderful vacation when you do it. It's a pilgrimage. You're going to walk, you're going to, whatever happens, and you're just going to be on a pilgrimage.
So you're walking this walk. Are you're camping on the way? Is you're outside? You sleep? What exactly
Yeah,
does
they
it
don't.
entails?
Yeah, they don't let you camp. You they it's so the Camino is like a large part of the, I guess, economy in northern Spain.
Okay.
All along the way, there are these houses that are called albergues.
Okay.
And sometimes they're just like giant buildings with a bunch of bunk beds. And sometimes they're like somebody's house and they fit them out with bunk beds. And
Yeah.
so just different ways people decide to have an albergue, and you can sleep there. It's really cheap. It's like 5 to 12 euros a night. Maybe it's more now because of COVID or something, but when I was there, it was 5 to 12 euros a night. And so you just I got a book, and in the book it told where the albergues were. And so I would like look in the book and see how many miles it was to the next albergue, or how many, maybe I knew I could walk about 10 miles a day. And so I'd look on the book and see where 10 miles away, which albergue that was. And then I'd call them up and, ask them, I would say, tiene una cama de esta noche, or por esta noche, and in my little bit of Spanish. And so they would take my name and I could sleep there that night.
Oh, so like Spanish isn't that bad. It's okay.
And
I understood what you were saying.
did you?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I live in San Diego, which is right next to Mexico, so there's no excuse for me not knowing how to speak a little bit of Spanish, right?
Yes. Yeah. Listen, I my mom is from Puerto Rico, so she made sure
Oh,
I learned both languages. So
oh, well, good. Good
so
for you.
yeah.
It's good to know languages.
Yeah, it is. I'm really maybe when I was younger I wasn't really too happy, but as an adult I'm grateful that she made sure that I stuck with it
Yeah,
and learned the
you
language.
do you do well on the Camino over there in Spain there.
So you wrote the book. It's the wisdom of the on the Camino.
Hmm.
So the book, is it based on your entire your journey through the Camino?
Yes. So what I like when I started writing, I just wrote down all the teachings I wanted to teach. And
Okay.
then when I decided, oh, I better write about the Camino and how I told people, then I just, next to each of the teachings, I wrote who I told it to. And then I kind of arranged it chronologically. So, yeah. So pretty much each chapter has something in it about the teaching that I learned while I was taking care of my husband.
Okay. Okay, so you also said you sent me the bio. You're recovering from food addiction.
Oh,
What
yeah.
what is that?
What is that? I mean, um, you know how alcoholics, they shouldn't eat, they shouldn't drink any alcohol or it's
Yeah.
all over with, they're going to fall back. It's the same thing with the food addicts. We can't eat flour and sugar, because if you eat flour and sugar, you're just going to binge. It's just like being an alcoholic, only it's food. And I think just because I was a sad person all my life, that I was always trying to find comfort in food. And then, after a while, I was just like, gee, I don't really like being this large. And so I got into bright line eating. That's you can look that up on the internet. And so they helped me realize that I was a food addict, and helped me realize that I just can't eat flour and sugar anymore, and that I need to eat certain amounts of food, or else, like, if I eat too much food, then I just I could binge, and then my body will just be all hurty and everything. And so So that's what, I just can't eat all that stuff. And really, I can't even eat bananas, because if I eat a banana, then that my brain just goes into the sugar thing. And I can eat an apple. That that's a safe thing for me to eat, but I can't eat all that other stuff. It's
Mm.
gonna turn me into a foodaholic. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no. You mentioned being sad your whole entire life.
Yeah.
Um, what what have you done recently that's helped you kind of overcome that? Not you, because it doesn't seem like you're that sad person anymore.
I know. I learned some good stuff. I wish I had learned it earlier, so I didn't have to spend all that time being sad. I thought that what was true in my life was important. And I used to tell the story of my sad story about, my dad and all this stuff. And I didn't realize that when I told those sad stories, I was making them more real than they are than necessary. Um, because what you think about, you bring about. And so if I think about how sad it was, my story, then I'm just bringing about more of that sadness. And it's just really amazing. I I'm so glad I figured it. Figured it out, because now I can think a good thought, and I don't have to be bringing in the sad stuff anymore. Um, I believe that before I came in as a person, I was out in the universe with God, and I was a low vibrational spirit. I had a low vibration, and I thought that I would like to raise my vibration, because I would like to be close to God, who has a really high vibration. And so I heard that you can raise your vibration by coming into the earth and being a human, because humans can do unconditional love, and that really raises your vibration. And so, even knowing that with my low vibration, I was going to attract all kinds of terrible stuff in my life, I decided to come in anyway. I mean, this is what I think. I don't know if God revealed this to me or if I just made this up, but anyway, I think it's true. And and anyway, so I came in as a human, and I attracted these parents that were absolutely, not okay. And so I grew up just really sad, because people have been mean to me all my life. But the fact is that they were mean to me because I was attracting in mean stuff, because I had a low vibration. So when
So
I
I'm
figured
sorry.
out
Go ahead.
how
Continue.
to
No, go ahead. I'm
when
sorry.
when I figured out how to raise my vibration, then I got to be happy. Now I don't have to be sad all the time. I mean, I get sad, but then I'm like, oh yeah, I need to think of something good, so good things will come in.
No, I understand because I'm an energy person. I go off of I feed off of energy and vibration and stuff. And so I've everyone has gone through some trauma in their life, I'm no different. I went through a spell where I lost one person, and after another, I was widowed at 31,
Oh, I'm so
reunited with my
sorry.
reunited with my dad after 25 years, only to lose him
Mm.
just a day after reuniting with him.
Oh my
Um,
gosh.
um, I had an uncle and aunt pass away that helped raise me. I have lost two brothers,
Mm.
and 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 I was at a point in my life where I was really lost, not on the right path, and not definitely not on the right energy, not on the right wavelength and vibration and energy until it kind of he hit me. It kind of spoke to me and just it was like you can't be living this life. You have to
Mm.
change your life. You have to not feed into. Yeah, I was grieving and I was dealing with my grief, but
Yeah.
I was just angry. I
Yes.
was angry, and being in that anger, just much more negativity just kept coming in. And so
Yeah.
when I finally decided to stop being angry and realize that, hey, God is not, because it was in my mind. I was like, why am I such a bad person? Why are these
Mm,
things happening? Why am I being punished? What did I do to deserve this? Why did I deserve to lose all these people that cared for me? Or and so when I finally realized it wasn't that I was being punished. It was just some things that you just had to experience. It was a lesson that I came here to learn. This was something
mm,
this was my experience. This was supposed to be part of my experience on this plane in this universe, however you want to look at it.
mm-hmm.
It was just my and so people ask me like, "Oh, do you regret any of this happening?" I say I don't wish it upon anyone because it's very difficult. A lot of people don't recover from suffering so many losses back to back,
Yeah.
and I'm like, but it's made me who I am. It's made me who you see in front of you right now,
Your
and
depth of character.
so it's just been a journey that I've accepted. I've like, yeah, this was the path that I was supposed. This was supposed to happen. This is what I was here for me to learn. Is to go through these situations, deal with them, learn how to whichever path that was going to end up being. Thank God it's down the path of me getting back into self development, getting back into learning and wanting to help other people. So that's why I once I started doing the podcast and realized that I had a platform that I was like, I want people to come on and share their stories. I want people to tell what what transpired in their life and what they're doing to overcome that and what kind of impact they're leaving.
Yeah. I That's really amazing, an amazing story. I'm so sorry those things happened to you. You know, on the Camino, one of the first person that I met was a man, and he was really sad. And I asked him why he was so sad, and he said that he had just lost 3 of his friends in separate incidences. They were really close friends of his, and he just couldn't live his life anymore. And somebody told him that he should go to the Camino and walk the Camino and find himself on the Camino. And that's what a
Oh,
lot of people do. When you're on the Camino, um, that's the big question. Why are you here? And I was there because, my husband died, and I had time to be there. Before he died, I had to be caring for him, for a long time. And so, um, yeah, sometimes you have to replace something in your life that you miss. You have to replace it with something else so that you can keep going. And that, like before Brian, my husband was an athlete, and before he got sick, um, I was thinking about our old age, and he loved the Peloton, and I thought, well, maybe we'll go to France and just ride our bicycles across France. In his old age, I thought he would enjoy that. But when he got sick, I was just like, well, I guess that's not going to happen. He's got Parkinson's disease. And so, about 2013, my girlfriend walked the Camino Santiago, and she shared it on Facebook. And I just thought, you know what? When Ron's done with his disease, I'm going to walk the Camino too. And because it looked like she was just doing something very special for herself. And it's a walking meditation. You're like walking for months. I mean, I was walking for 2 months. Some people like because
oh,
I'm an
it's a
old lady.
it's it's a 2 month. How long is the walk?
Well, It's 500 miles,
Wow.
and I um I used to walk 5 miles with my girlfriend down at San Diego Bay twice a week, and I thought, well, 5 miles didn't even make me sweat, so I can walk 5 miles before lunch and 5 miles after lunch, and I can do this. That's why I thought I could do it. And so, if you think 10 miles a day and it's 500 miles, that's 50 days, right? But if you're a young person, you probably can walk more. A lot of people walk it in 35 or 45 days.
Mm.
But I was there for 66 days. And I was walking as fast as I could. But like I say, I'm an old lady, so. But
Wow.
I took Holy Week off too, so that was really great. So that added on a week, and then I got sick a couple times, so um, I couldn't walk while I was sick, and so that's why it took me so long.
Oh, listen, but you got it done. So, hey,
I did. I gave myself 3 months. I didn't get my airfare home for 3 months, and I just thought, I don't care what happens, I'm finishing that thing. But when I got done, I was actually sick when I finished, and the doctor wanted me to stay in this town for 3 more days, and I'm like, no, I got to get out of here. So anyway, I walked. One of the things you can do while you're over there, you don't even have to carry your pack. They'll transport it for you. You just give them like 3 to 5 euros and tell them where you want them to take it, and they'll pick your pack up and take it to where you are gonna sleep that night. So
oh,
that's
so
what
you
I
don't really
did.
have to. So you don't necessarily have to carry your bag. You just,
Yeah, I was so gung ho. I wanted to carry my pack. I didn't, but when I was sick, I just couldn't do it. So I let them take it for me.
that was smart. Yeah, like if you can't carry it, why force yourself to carry it? No, I understand.
Right. It was either I was going to have to stay there for 3 days or I was going to have my bag transported. So I just thought it's better to get out of here. I'd been there long enough.
Yeah, well, 66 days is a lot of is a lot of days.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay, so oh yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, so what was it? Okay, so human therapy, as Starry-Eyed the Clown is intriguing. How do you bring humor into healing?
Oh, humor into healing?
Yes.
Yeah, there's this guy that told me that I needed to write my book with humor in it. And that's what I was thinking. How do you bring humor into healing? But really, I think when you get into raising your vibration,
Mhm.
a high vibration is joy. So you're going to have humor if you're going to raise your vibration. And raising your vibration is the healing thing, because when you're sad, I mean, the worse it gets, the worse it gets. But if you find a good thought and think it, you can raise your vibration, and then you can have your joy. Um, so like, um, I have this thought in my head. My daughter, um, she was afraid to take swimming lessons, and I told her, this is when my girl was little, and I told her, look, you don't have to worry about it. It's the teacher's problem. They just have to, you just do what they say, and it's their problem to teach you. So just go listen to them and do what they say. And I remember she was so afraid. And I remember the first time that I saw her just skimming across the water. She was swimming across the water, across the top of the water. It was such a beautiful thing to see for me. And so whenever I need a good thought, I can think of that. I can think of Cecilia, you know, swimming across the top of the water when she was afraid to do it, and I just helped her out, and she did it anyway. and that's a really good thought of mine. And then I have another one. It's of Cecilia too. And in the mornings, we lived out in the country, and we had a big Ben Franklin stove in the front room. And my daughter Cecilia had this giant curly hair that was flopping all over the place. I mean, um, and I would wake up in the morning and go into the front room, and Cecilia had built a fire in the front room, and she was sitting there with her fluffy hair right next to the fire. And I was just like, "Oh my gosh, get away from the fire." But I don't know, it's just it's a beautiful picture for me to think about. And so I can think about that too. So I just kind of stored up a bunch of good thoughts that I can think when I'm thinking stinking thinking stuff that's bringing in the negative stuff for me. The other thing is so praise raises your vibration too. So I have made it a study to praise God. And so I actually went online and I looked up all kinds of praise songs, and I wrote down all the words, and I read them into my phone. So I have a recording of it. And before I go to bed at night, I play my recording of my praise words. And so that I figure, because like when I go to bed at night, a lot of times I think of really negative stuff while I'm trying to sleep, and that doesn't help me sleep at all. And so if I do that praise thing right before I go to bed, then it puts my brain in a good spot to have good thoughts at night.
Well, I honestly go to sleep to positive affirmations and
Mhm.
a lot of Wayne Dryer.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Wayne Dyer. Mm,
it
mm,
went
mm.
Les Brown.
Yeah,
But
Les. Oh my gosh, Les
so that
Brown.
so I just put a lot when I go to sleep. I just all I put on, and
Mhm.
that's how I go to sleep. And when I
Yeah.
wake up, it's still playing. So when I wake up in the
Mhm.
morning, it's still feeding me, and
Mm.
so because a lot of people, it's crazy. A lot of people, because even my wife, when she just falls asleep to some of the craziest shows, like
Mhm.
she's watching the Law and Order and all this other stuff, and I'm like, I don't want to go to sleep to that energy. I prefer
Yeah.
to go to sleep to something much more positive. And
Yeah.
so I sleep with, like
Mhm.
I said, positive affirmations. I don't know, it's just I get to go to sleep much more peaceful and easier.
That's lovely. Um, another thing about raising your vibration is unconditional love is a very high vibration. I think it is the highest vibration. I'm not really sure, but um, so you can't even do unconditional love unless you have adversity, because you can. It's easy to love the people that love us, but the people that are a problem for us, that requires unconditional love. And so it's like all the people that were mean to me in my life, um, they're just an opportunity for me to do unconditional love. And so that really raises my vibration, is the unconditional love. Mhm.
On yeah, it's I've been blessed to get married again. And she's my wife has encouraged and motivated me and pushed me to when she's seen that I was serious about podcasting and doing what I'm doing, and she's like, what do you need me to help you keep this
Mm,
moving and take this to the next level and help, because she says, I see you're serious about this. I know you're serious about this because I was a big gamer. I spent hours and hours playing video games.
mhm,
And she goes, but it's over there collecting dust. I see you over
mhm,
here recording, and Because what can I do to make this something profitable, make this something? And she helped me start the LLC. She helped me get the production company going. And to have someone support you like that, like she could have
Mm-hmm.
easily been like, even though I have a 9 to 5 and I do this after work. So she sees that, all right, this is something it's growing. People are podcasting is really taking off right now. It's in a position where if you get the right amount of views and listeners and all that, sponsors are involved in it. But I'm not really doing it that for that. I find my joy in having the conversations. I find my joy in being able to learn from people and see how, like, again, like when you said you were a sad person, but
Mm-hmm.
the energy I get from you is not sad. Like right now,
Yeah.
'cause- so being able to speak to you and realize that yes, you were a sad person,
Yeah.
but you're no longer that person. You can just see it in you can just feel the energy. You can just feel the vibrations and see that. What does she
Yeah.
mean that she was a sad person? Like I don't get that kind of energy from her. I don't get that from her. I don't, that's not the energy I feel from her. And again, that's part of the journey. That's what you've had to grow and learn and experience the things you had to experience in order for you to get to the vibration that you're at. And so being able to speak to you and have this experience with you is it's an honor. Thank you for being a
Mm-hmm.
guest. I really truly do appreciate you being a guest and being able to share your story and to show that regardless of what happened in your life and everything that's going on, you having to take care of your husband for 17 years, having to deal with an abusive father and all that, and to see where you're at now. That's why I do my podcast, because people need to see that. People need to look and see that. Wow, look at what this lady's been through. Look at the struggles and all of it, and look at you now. You experienced the El Camino de Santiago, and and you're trying to make an impact on people's lives by showing them that, hey, there's 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 ways to overcome the things that have happened in your life. You don't necessarily have to be defined by what has transpired in your past life.
You know, one thing that really helped me out was Ho'oponopono. Have you heard of that?
No.
No. It's a Hawaiian healing technique for the family. And
Okay.
the way it go, it's like a prayer or an incantation. And really, what it does is it looses our binds with the people that we have difficulty with. And so either it's going to lose our binds with them and they're going to go away, or it's going to lose our binds and we can live with them. Either way. But it's really a miracle and magical. And so what you do first is you say, I love you. And what it is I love God. God loves me. God loves the other person. The other person loves God. If you can say it, you say, I love the other person. But if you can't, you don't have to. And, um, and they love me. And so that's, I love you. I'm sorry. And it's not, I'm sorry I did anything, but I'm sorry the situation exists between us. There's a situation here between us, and I'm sorry this exists. And then it's, please forgive me. And it's not forgive me for doing something, but forgive me for what's going on in me that caused me to attract this. There's something in me, a low vibration in me, that caused me to attract this uncomfortable situation with this person. And thank you for showing me this so I could heal. And so that when I say that, it kind of washes me, because thank you for showing me this so I could heal. If they didn't push my button here and I was feeling this pain, I wouldn't know about my pain. They showed me my pain and I need to heal my pain. So it's like taking responsibility for my own pain. And maybe they showed it to me by saying something that hurt my feelings very deeply. But anyway, and then after that you say I love you, and it's the big I love you. I love God, God loves me, God loves the other person loves God, and maybe by then you can say I love them. But it's just it's I can't tell you how much it has helped me so much to do this. And I want to tell you about one night Ron and I were on vacation. It was when he had Parkinson's, but he wasn't too bad. He could still walk. And so I was in bed in this resort somewhere and with Ron, and I kept thinking of all these sad stories, all this sadness. It just kept coming to me. It was kind of like, I don't know, some people call it your monkey mind. I was just having all these thoughts. And so I thought, oh, I'm just going to try the Ho'oponopono. So I was doing the I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, I love you. And it wasn't working. I was feeling guilt. And Ho'oponopono is not about guilt at all. That's not what it's about. And so I thought, well, maybe I'm doing it wrong or something. But and so I got this brainchild going on, and so I said, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. And then I said, I forgive me. And then I said, I forgive it up. And I felt this refrigerator-sized pain come out of my heart and go up to God. And I thought, whoa, that was amazing. And then I finished it, thank you for showing me this. I love you. And so anyway, all night long, I kept having these thoughts. And so I thought, well, I call it my extended Ho'oponopono. So I kept doing it, and I kept getting more and more pain out of my heart. And so that was a real big catalyst for me to do the Ho'oponopono, and then realize what I really needed to do was get it out of my heart. And so that I have the Ho'oponopono in my book. So
Okay.
if anybody needs to,
I'll put it in the descriptions and everything, and I'll put the link to the book and everything in the description, so you ain't gotta worry about that.
Okay.
But thank you so much for being a guest. Now is the time where you get the solo screen, and you get to plug away and let people know where they can get the book, where they can find your website, anything, everything.
Okay. Well, my website is wisdomonthecamino.com. And you can go in there and you can just click on the little thing, and you can get the book. It's on Amazon. Or you can go to Amazon and put on Wisdom on the Camino, and it'll come up. It's actually Wisdom on the Camino, a spiritual journey sharing forgiveness and possibilities to inspire the rest of your life. And I really believe that it was such an inspiration in my life. And I just wanted to share it with everybody. Also, in the book, right across from the, what do you call it? The chapters, the table of contents, it says, read this first. And it says, my gift to my readers is they can see my pictures that I took on the Camino. Because all my friends told me that I should put my pictures in the book because they're so great. And I was like, yeah, and then it'll cost $50 for the book. So I made a website with portfolios and galleries. And so if you go get if you get it, and then you read chapter 1, you can look at the pictures for chapter 1 in there too. So Wisdom on the Camino, a spiritual journey, sharing forgiveness and possibilities to inspire the rest of your life, by Kathleen Donnelly Israel. There you go.
Thank you. Greatly appreciate you being in the show. Again, I know you're a little bit under the weather, and I greatly appreciate you coming on and enduring and I know you've been coughing and everything, but
I'm
thank you so
sorry.
much. No, no, no. Listen, that's why I love doing my podcast. It's life. This is life. I've done shows not feeling well. There's times I've had to cancel. It's life. It is what it is. What it is. I'm not. It
Right.
still turned out to be a great show. I greatly appreciate you being on the show. Thank you. Someone
Thank
said
you, Will.
I don't know who the Facebook user was, but someone said she's beautiful. So thank you, Facebook user, whoever you are. Greatly appreciate it. Um, but thank you so much, Kathleen. It's been a pleasure and an honor to be able to speak to you.
Thank you, Will.
But don't leave just yet. Let me close out the show. We'll chat a little
Okay.
bit off the air. But
Yeah.
thank you so much. All right, now it is time for shout outs. Big shout out to my Real Wise fam, Poppy J, Brandy J. Love you guys. Big shout out to the boss lady. Love you and appreciate you, baby. Big shout out to my guest, Kathleen Donnelly Israel, for coming through and sharing her story. And as always, a big shout out to all the essential workers out there. God bless you. Be safe. Um, Shout out to the Facebook user. Catch us here every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on Real Wise TV or Stuck in My Mind podcast YouTube channel, BS3 Network. Download the BS3 Network on your Roku. And that's it. So everybody have a great night. Peace out. And yes, let me close it out.